The November wind carried the scent of roasting turkey and cinnamon through the suburban streets of Maplewood. Inside the Henderson house, chaos reigned in the most wonderful way. Melissa Henderson stood in her kitchen, her apron dusted with flour, orchestrating what she called her symphony of gratitude, Thanksgiving dinner for 12. "Mom, Emma won't let me use the good serving spoon," her son Jack called from the dining room. "There are 6 good serving spoons, honey. Just pick another one," Melissa replied, without looking up from the sweet potato casserole she was assembling. 42, Melissa had mastered the art of multitasking. She could mash potatoes while mediating sibling disputes, all while keeping an eye on the timer for the cranberry sauce. Her husband, Tom, was in the living room with his brother, both men, parked in front of the television watching football, their annual tradition. Everything was perfect. Everything was planned. The table was set with her grandmother's china, the centerpiece, a cornucopia overflowing with autumn gourds, looked like something from a magazine. Their guests would arrive in 2 hours. Tom's parents, her sister's family, and their neighbors, the Coopers. Melissa wiped her hands on her apron and glanced at the clock. She had just enough time to run to the store for the whipped cream she'd forgotten. In all her careful planning, the one thing she'd overlooked was dessert. Topping. "Tom, I'm running to the store. Watch the turkey." "It's the 4th quarter, Tom protested, but Melissa was already grabbing her keys and coat. The grocery store parking lot was surprisingly empty for Thanksgiving Day. Most people had done their shopping earlier in the week, as she had, except for that one crucial item. Melissa hurried through the automatic doors, her breath visible in the cold air. She was in and out in 5 minutes, whipped cream in hand, when she noticed him. He sat on the ground beside the store's entrance, his back against the brick wall. His coat was too thin for the weather, patched in several places with duct tape. A worn knapsack rested beside him, and a piece of cardboard lay across his lap with words written in faded marker. "Hungry. Anything helps. God bless." Melissa had seen homeless people before, of course. She donated to shelters, dropped coins in cups, even volunteered at a soup kitchen once during the holidays years ago. But something about this man stopped her in her tracks. Maybe it was the way he sat so still, not calling out or making eye contact with passers-by. Maybe it was the profound sadness in his eyes, visible even from a distance. Or maybe it was the fact that she was rushing home to a feast that could feed 20 people. And this man was sitting on cold concrete, hungry, on Thanksgiving. She walked toward him before she'd consciously decided to do so. "Excuse me," she said softly. The man looked up, surprised. He appeared to be in his 60s with a weathered face and a grey beard that needed trimming. His eyes were a striking blue, clear and intelligent despite his circumstances. "Yes, ma'am." His voice was gentle, educated even. I'm having Thanksgiving dinner today. Would you like to join us?" The words tumbled out before she could second-guess them. She watched his expression shift from surprise to disbelief. "Ma'am, I don't want to impose. You wouldn't be imposing. We have more than enough food." She smiled, and she meant it. "Really, I'd like you to come." The man studied her face for a long moment, as if trying to determine whether this was real or some kind of cruel joke. Finally, he spoke. "That's very kind of you. My name is William. I'm Melissa. My car is over there, the blue Honda." She gestured toward the parking lot, then hesitated. "If you'd rather not, I completely understand. But the invitation is genuine." William slowly got to his feet, gathering his knapsack and the cardboard sign. "I would be honored, Melissa." During the short drive home, Melissa's mind raced. What would Tom say? His parents were conservative and might not appreciate an unexpected guest, especially one who was homeless. Her sister Rachel would probably support the decision, but Rachel's husband, Mark, could be judgmental, And the Coopers, well, she wasn't sure about them, but it was too late to back out now, and truthfully, she didn't want to. "I should mention," she said, as they pulled into her driveway, "my family doesn't know you're coming. I hope that's okay. I sort of made this decision impulsively." William smiled, and it transformed his face. Some of the best decisions are made impulsively. They entered through the front door, and Melissa called out, "Tom, kids, can you come here for a minute?" Tom appeared from the living room, his brother Dan behind him. Both men stopped short when they saw William. "Tom, this is William. I invited him to join us for Thanksgiving dinner." Melissa kept her voice steady, confident. Tom's eyebrows shot up, but to his credit, he recovered quickly. He extended his hand. "William, welcome to our home." Emma and Jack thundered down the stairs, curiosity written all over their faces. "Kids, this is Mr. William. He'll be having dinner with us." Melissa watched her children carefully. Emma was 16, at that age where image meant everything. Jack was 13 and still mostly open-hearted. "Cool," Jack said simply. Emma managed a polite, "Hi." "William, let me show you where you can freshen up before the other guests arrive," Melissa said, leading him toward the downstairs bathroom. "Take your time." As soon as the bathroom door closed, Tom pulled Melissa into the kitchen. "Mel, I'm not upset, but what's going on? I saw him outside the grocery store and I couldn't drive home to all this abundance and leave him, sitting on the cold ground on Thanksgiving." "I couldn't do it, Tom." Her husband studied her face, then nodded slowly. "Okay, but my parents will be fine. Your mother is a Christian woman who's always talking about helping those less fortunate. This is her chance to practice what she preaches." Tom chuckled, despite himself. "Fair point. Does he seem safe?" "Yes. I know it was impulsive, but I feel good about this." The doorbell rang, signaling the arrival of the first guests. Tom's parents, Gerald and Patricia, came bearing pies. Rachel's family arrived moments later with her famous green bean casserole. The Coopers showed up with wine and rolls. Melissa made the introductions, explaining simply that William was a guest she'd invited. Some eyebrows rose, Patricia's lips thinned into a line. But everyone remained polite, if somewhat stiff. William, for his part, was gracious and quiet. He'd cleaned up as best he could, smoothed his hair, and tucked in his shirt. He helped carry dishes to the table and held doors for others. His manners were impeccable. Finally, everyone gathered around the dining table. Melissa had squeezed in an extra chair for William, placing him between herself and Jack. The table groaned under the weight of food: turkey and ham, stuffing and mashed potatoes, 3 types of vegetables, cranberry sauce, rolls, and a rainbow of pies waiting on the sideboard. "Before we eat," Tom said, standing at the head of the table, "I'd like us to go around and each share something we're grateful for this year. It's become our family tradition." Melissa watched William's face. He looked almost pained, but he nodded politely. They went around the table. Gerald was grateful for his health, Patricia for her family, Dan for his new promotion. Rachel's daughter was grateful for making the soccer team. Jack was grateful for his new video game system. When it came to Emma, she surprised everyone. "I'm grateful that Mom shows me what it means to be kind, even when it's uncomfortable." She glanced at William, then at her mother, and Melissa felt tears prick her eyes. Then it was William's turn. The table grew quiet. He cleared his throat, his hands folded in front of him. "I'm grateful for this moment," he began, his voice soft but steady, "for this incredible kindness from strangers. But if I'm being honest, gratitude has been hard for me lately. You see, 3 years ago, I was sitting at a table much like this one. I was a professor of literature at Columbia University. I had a beautiful home, a loving wife of 35 years, and 2 grown children. I thought I had life figured out. The room was absolutely silent. Melissa could hear the clock ticking in the hall. William continued. Then my wife, Sarah, was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer. The treatments were brutal and expensive. Even with insurance, the bills piled up. I took a leave from work to care for her, and eventually I had to resign. Sarah fought for 2 years, and I spent every moment with her, every penny I had.